Hi, everybody. This is Jackie Pilosoff. This is my podcast called Divorced Girl Smiling. And my tagline is, if you want a Cinderella story, be your own fairy godmother. You're the only one who can pick out the perfect glass slipper. And on this podcast, we talk about everything relating to divorce, dating after divorce, being newly separated, coping with divorce, healthy eating. There's all kinds of things we talk about. Today, I have a great guest. My friend Moses is with me, and the topic is dating over 40, 50, and 60. Hi, Moses.
How are you? How's everything?
Everything is good, and don't you love his voice? I never liked my voice. I love Moses's voice. He's actually a professional vocalist who has performed all over the United States. Very talented singer, and a great guy who I met at the gym, I want to say 10 years ago at least. What do you think?
Probably more like 8 or 9, just to be specific.
Okay, so Moses is actually 61 years old, which you would not believe because he is an absolutely gorgeous man. He is a gorgeous man with these beautiful eyelashes that we were talking about last time I saw him at the gym, and just a great guy who is out and about in the dating world and enjoying life. So, Moses, welcome.
Thank you. And just to be clear, I tell everyone I'm 61, but I'm actually 45. 61 is easier for people to digest.
Well, thank you for clarifying that up. Okay. So, Moses, what's it like to date as an older person? And when I say older, I mean not in your 20s. 30s, 40s, 50s.
I think a lot of people, especially women, when they get older, they interpret things a little different. So what I mean by that is if they spend time with you, 2 or 3 or 4 dates, they may already be envisioning a wedding or a long-term relationship because we don't know how much time we have. So that's the big difference I see, is that maybe they're ready to lock in. And if you're a nice person and you treat people well, which I do, people have a tendency to want to lock in. And you have to be very, very careful of that. Just because, you stay in my house, or we have, as old folks like myself call, relations, doesn't mean we're dating, doesn't mean we're serious, doesn't mean we're exclusive, because we haven't had that conversation. So that's the main difference I see.
I would agree with you. And being a woman, a woman over 50, I would have to say that I am in that camp. Like if I am sleeping at somebody's house and I go out with them even a few times and I feel like they could be the one, I'm envisioning our future. So you definitely described me. I'm in that group. So what do you think, these women should not be this way, or can you understand it, or kind of both?
Well, I think you got to take every day a day at a time. You can't plan my week next week because you may not be in my plans for next week. So you have to sit down. First of all, you have to communicate. That's the key. You have to let people know what you're looking for. And when you tell people a lot of times, I'm not looking to settle down, what they hear is, I wasn't looking to settle down until I met you. That's not what I said. I said, I'm not looking to settle down. But we've been hanging out for 2 months. Nothing has changed. When things change, I'll let you know. And there are a lot of men I've met lately who make the same mistakes. They meet somebody and go out with them twice, and they're like, we're dating. No, you're not dating.
Okay, but I don't know if you're the norm, because don't you feel like you know a lot of guys who really they envision, just like the women do, they envision the future.
Yeah, but we look at it a little different, I think. We don't want to rush in, and just because somebody makes you feel good, that doesn't mean you're ready to spend the rest of your life with them.
Okay, so I just made my Cinderella comment at the beginning of this podcast. Tell me the good news. What is good about it for having that attitude?
Well, the good news is you meet people and you exchange ideas, and who knows, Cinderella may be the prince may be there, but I don't think it's something you can rush. So a lot of people want to meet on Monday, and by Thursday you're telling all your friends, I met this great guy, we're dating, I think he's the one. You don't even know what kind of toothpaste I use. You don't know anything about me. I really don't know anything about you. So let's pump the brakes. Let's slow down. If you're one of these people who want to have 5 or 6 dates before you decide to get physical, that's absolutely fine. But also realize that even after that 5th date and you decide, okay, let's share each other's bodies, that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean now I'm ready to settle down because you made me wait 5 dates and now we're going to have sex. All I did was wait 5 dates. That's not very hard. So I had a woman tell me she talked to her friends and her friends told her, 5 or 6 dates and then do it. And I said, well, what if it had happened and I never call you again after it happened? Then what? What advice is that? So you got to just do you, and just hopefully you'll meet good people and nice people and somebody who's not there just to take advantage of you.
And one thing that I notice that women do, including myself at times during my life, is that we don't sit back and just enjoy what it is. We're so afraid that it's going to end, or he's not going to call, or he's going to end up doing something and he's not going to be the one and I'm going to be crying every night. Instead of just enjoying him now and saying, even if it does end, that's okay. I had a great time and I'll never forget these wonderful memories, and I grew from him and I learned some things, and I have these amazing memories in my life that I won't ever regret, right? I mean,
life is moments, and that's all you got. All we got is right now. There's no guarantee either one of us is going to get up from this table.
Okay, so can we get into, I hope you're okay with me getting a little bit personal, because people are probably listening thinking, has this guy ever been married? Has he ever committed? So I hope it's okay. Moses is a widower, and I believe your wife passed away about 10 years ago, or 8 years ago. And I did meet her, and she was a lovely, lovely woman. So I think that helps people understand where you're coming from a little bit more, because you are committal if it's the right person. It's not like you've never committed.
Well, you and I have had this discussion. I do not believe in the right person. I believe it takes work every single day, because let's say you meet someone, you all have a great relationship, you live out the storybook life, you get married, and 20 years later that person comes home and says, I'm done. Was that the right person? It was the right person for 20 years. So I think it just takes work every day. Appreciate what you have. I don't think that right person exists. I loved my wife more than I loved life itself. But if she had lived, we didn't have any guarantees on a relationship. We took it a day at a time. We were different people. We worked together, but there is no guarantees that things would have worked out in either one of our favor.
But also, that's such a good point, because when people, as we age every day and live our lives, we're changing constantly. So that's the other thing. You have no idea how the other person is going to evolve and change in their life, or what circumstances are going to change. Let's say you're married to someone for a few years and everything's great, and you both kind of experiment with some drugs one night. And then your husband kind of starts doing it more and more and ends up becoming an addict. Well, now you're in this relationship with an addict, and maybe he goes and gets help, and now everything is different. So can your love sustain this major change that just happened to you? And it's just, you're right, there's no guarantees. So my advice, I think you share this, and you've taught me a lot about this, is to enjoy the present.
Enjoy the moment, because it's all you got. It's all you got. And if you're going to meet somebody and you all are working together towards something, just enjoy it, smile, laugh, have a good time. You know what I mean? Because the older you get, I think the less pressure you want to have in your life. You've lived long enough. You deserve to be able to relax. You deserve to be able to have somebody who's not on you every day about something, and it goes both ways. You deserve to be able to be yourself. If you're not a woman or you're not a man who likes dressing up and putting on clothes, but you've met a woman or a man who says, you know what, I love to see people dressed up, then you may have a problem. So you got to be careful when you just put yourself out there and say this is the one, because if you see these little things, the big things, you can never get through the big things. So just relax and be yourself, because I honestly believe, even though I don't believe in the right one, there's someone out there for everybody. I honestly believe that.
Okay, now what you were saying just now about if you meet someone that says, oh, I like getting dressed up, don't you believe, though, that relationships are about two things, giving, and then also maybe trying to grow and say, maybe I'll try dressing up and going out for this person. And if that makes him happy, and then he's going to have to say, well, some nights I'm going to sit around in sweats, eat popcorn and watch a movie. And, you kind of give for each other.
Yeah, it's about give and take. It's about give and take. I believe that the older we get, the harder it is to give and take, because you truly become set in your ways. And just little things that people don't even think about. Something as simple as toothpaste. Do you roll it up or do you mash it out? That sounds crazy, but it's important. When you come to the house, something as simple as using the bathroom, do you leave the lid up or the lid down?
Okay, so our friend that we have gone out with a few times, I don't want to say his name because he might get upset. He actually asked me once if I put the toilet paper roll with the toilet paper out or under.
You see, and that's important. That's important.
Okay, to me, the fact that he even asked me that, I was like, okay, this tells me a lot about your personality. Like, who really gives a crap?
No, I do. That's important because
Really?
I'm used to things being a certain way, and I want them to be that way. I like it over. Under to me is crazy. I like the lid.
So funny.
No,
I would not think that
down.
you were even. I didn't know this about you at all. I thought you were very easygoing.
I am easy. Long as you put the lid down. Put the lid down. It just makes no sense to me to leave a bathroom with the lid up on the top. Put it down. It's supposed to be down. You have never seen Home and Garden with a picture of a wonderful home with the lid up on the top. Put it down. It's there for a reason. Put it down.
All right, I'm going to tell my kids that when they get home from
down.
school.
Put it down.
Okay, I'm going to take a 2-minute break just to acknowledge a couple of my sponsors on Divorced Girl Smiling. I first just want to point out, and they're wonderful firms. Everybody who advertises on my site, I do business with, and I personally endorse them and think they're wonderful. And the two people I want to mention are the Center for Divorce Recovery, which has offices in Northbrook, Naperville, and Chicago, and they're dedicated to helping families recover from the trauma of divorce. And then the other company I want to talk about is MJ Gable, who is a jeweler based in upstate New York, and they buy back diamonds. They actually bought my engagement ring, and I was very happy with the service and the price. So I really just want to give a shout out and thank them for supporting Divorced Girl Smiling. Okay, commercial break's over. Okay, so we're talking to my friend Moses, and I want to know if you have any advice for women in their 40s or 50s or even 60s who say dating is really hard. It's so hard. I hate it. There's all losers out there. What would you say to somebody who said that to you?
I would maybe sort of agree with them. But no, there's some good guys out there because a lot of men say, believe it or not, men say the same thing about women. There's no women out there. They're all nuts. Dating is rough. Men say the exact same thing. But it is what it is. People are people. So
what's the good news? Because I didn't hear anything good out of that.
So the good news is that people are people. So you get out there, and you can't stay in the house all the time and expect to meet people. So there's an old saying, you might have to kiss a frog before you get a prince. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean, you go out.
So you're saying there are good people out there.
There are.
Okay, I kind of compare it to my first job in high school was at Loehmann's. Have you ever shopped at a Loehmann's?
Years ago.
Okay, so they have all this stuff, so many clothes, racks and racks and racks. And you go through the racks and it all looks like it's a pile of crap. It's very hard. But there are some gems in there if you are willing to look through the rack thoroughly at every item.
Well, see, I can honestly say that most, if not all, and maybe I'm leaving out maybe one or two of the women I've met in my life, have been absolutely fantastic people. And I think you get back what you put out. And so if you are not a nice person and you just have one thing in mind, I've got a friend, he meets women and he goes, she wants to talk to me about her problems and I don't want to hear that. Well, that's a part of getting to know people, is a part of their problems. It's a part of what makes them who they are. Mm-hmm. And I always laugh to myself because he goes, well, I trying to find somebody to lock in, but you're not even listening to the people that you know. So how you gonna lock into somebody when you don't want to hear what's going on with them? Mm-hmm. So I think you get back what you put out.
Okay, so on those same lines, my advice is, tell me if you agree with this, when people date, they go in with this tunnel vision. So they meet someone on Match.com or Tinder or Bumble, and then they go and they walk in and the picture looks nothing like the person and they're like, okay, forget it. And they just close their mind off in the first 20 seconds and then it's over and they have this bad attitude. And what they don't realize is something else that's unexpected may come out of this meeting. You might hear about some job. You might learn something about your professional career. You might think this person is hilarious if you would give them half a chance. Or you might say, this person, I don't want to kiss him, but we could end up being good friends. Or he could introduce me to someone else. So while I understand dating burnout, and if you go and there's 10 people in a row that you just didn't like, I get it. But try to be more open-minded as to what the goals are. The goal doesn't have to be he's my Prince Charming every night.
No, dinner is dinner, a drink is a drink. But the physical aspect of it is very important. But as you mature and get older, that's not the whole aspect of it. Because that same person that you may not be attracted to in the initial meeting, mm-hmm. if you all laugh and have a good time and they make you feel comfortable, you have no clue where that could lead. Whether it's business, you may find yourself madly head over heels about this person just because of who they are. Because it's happened to me. I've met women that I had no physical attraction to. And after I got to know them, I was thoroughly attracted to them. But if I had to meet them again, I probably would say hi and keep moving. But the people that they were, the people that they are is just fantastic people. And that's what attracts me, is fantastic people. I love a nice, shapely woman is more than the next man. But if she's not a good person, then what is the point?
Right.
I've been having sex all my life, so that can't be the end all and be all right now. I've been doing that longer than most folks have been living that I know. So
Okay, so along those lines, this is a great story. When I was single, before I was married, my dad set me up with this guy. And I was at my parents' house and I'm looking out the window as he's getting out of the car and I'm thinking to myself, oh crap. I have to like go to a whole dinner. Nope, not gonna happen. I'm not attracted to him. Now I have to go spend the next 2 hours with him. This is horrible. This sucks, you know. Okay. So I fake it, fake it, fake it. Halfway through dinner, I'm looking at his eyes and I'm like, oh my gosh, he has like beautiful eyes and he's really funny. I was in love with him by the end of the night. I was thinking, this is a great guy. He ended up breaking up with me. You know, we dated for a few months,
Yeah.
but it just, if you are willing to have an open heart and think, something good is going to come out of this no matter what. There'll be some benefit, then I think it changes your whole attitude.
Well, I tend to think most people think they are the prize. And so they go in thinking, is this person worthy of me?
See, I think men more than women feel that way. And I always tell women to go in with the attitude of, he's lucky if I like him, not I'm lucky if he likes me.
Well, see, what about we're lucky if we like each other?
Absolutely.
Because when you go in with that attitude, he's lucky to have me, I honestly believe you're setting yourself up for problems because that will manifest itself in your attitude towards him.
But most
he
women
will-
are the opposite.
But
That's
I'm
what
saying,
I'm trying to
all
say.
right, he will pick that up. That she thinks I'm lucky to be with her because it'll be obvious when you all are out in public. It will be obvious the way you treat him around other people. And so we're lucky to be with each other.
I
We're lucky to be with
totally
each other.
agree with that, but I think most women have this attitude, they get all dressed up and they're praying the guy will like them when they should be praying that they'll like each other and that it's just as important that I like him too.
Absolutely,
And most
absolutely.
men, I feel like, are the exact opposite.
No, see,
Really?
that's what I know. I think we as men, first of all, we don't control this thing. We don't choose women. You all choose us. So we are.
Wait, can you back up? Because I
Yeah,
don't get that
We
at all.
don't choose. You can go in a place and be the most handsome guy in the world, the richest guy in the world, and you look at a woman and you go, I'm gonna be with that woman. That woman chose you. You didn't choose her. Because you all control it. You all have what we're after. So most men we put on this front like we're so confident and just so, no. We are nervous.
Oh, good to know.
We are just, I'm gonna
Okay, this
say-
is the last thing I'm going to say because I'll tell you why I said what I said about men. Tell me if you agree with this, seem to be so many more available, attractive, successful women out there than there are men. So when you have this ratio where there's many, many more women, these guys have like the pick of the litter and the women are just trying to meet someone, so they're willing to accept somebody who, do you agree? Like you're,
Well, it depends. It depends on, I guess, the city you live in. Just because there is a lot of choice doesn't mean that the man is so confident he's got a lot of choices. But I think the reason he keeps exercising all those choices is because he's not sure he can lock into something and make it work.
especially after a marriage.
Well, I don't know, because most of the guys I know who were married and got divorced or lost their wife, they're back in relationships within 2 years, except for me. Most of the guys I know guys older and they lost their wife, and 8 months later they're in a relationship, and a year and a half later they're getting married again. So It's just I can't explain it. People are, I can't explain it. But we have this perception that it's a man's world, and it basically is. But we don't choose you all choose us. I was told that by a wise man. And the longer you live, the more you realize it. We can do whatever we want to do. We can do whatever we want to do. But I'm sure you've had guys come up to you and said all the right things and you found them attractive. But there was something about that man you said, no, I'll pass. I will pass.
Don't you think there's men who said that about me?
Very rarely, because when we get a shot at a nice looking woman, unless we know something is wrong with her, unless we know something is wrong with her, unless even if we've been warned, we'll go, well, that's not going to happen to me. So no, see, we men approach things different. We approach things different. And I shouldn't speak for all men, but we just no. We get a shot at a nice looking woman walks up to us, and we think we got a shot. Not too many of us gonna say, "Nah, man."
Hi, Ann. Hold on, I had to. Okay. So I want to move on to something that I think you'll be really good at.
All right.
I want to read a letter, maybe two if we have time, from readers, and then I want to get your advice on this. Okay, here's the first reader's letter. I need some advice. I've been dating a single dad for 1 year. I have 2 boys myself. We've introduced the kids slowly, and it's working well. I'm friendly with his ex-wife. In fact, we really respect each other. He treats me with respect. He is loving, kind, and has invited me to family events. He makes time for me, and we have had an incredible year together. The only thing is, he has not said I love you, but his actions do. I'm divorced. He is still finalizing his. I'm in love. I'm bursting to tell him, but I'm waiting for him. Part of me is terrified that he doesn't, but my gut tells me he just needs more time. Do I tell him? I made a book explaining why I love him, and I'm dying to give it to him. Do I just say, babe, I want to bring up the L word? Please help.
The first part of that letter, she described everything anybody would want to have in life. So why can't she just let it be? If his actions are showing you he loves you, everybody doesn't say I love you the same way. And he's finalizing his divorce. So maybe he wants to really close one chapter of his life before he moves into that I love you stage.
Okay.
She described a relationship that man or woman would love to have, especially with, I don't have kids, but if I had them and I was dating somebody who had them, she described the perfect scenario. So
right, which goes back to what we were saying, just enjoy the time.
Absolutely.
And stop worrying about the future.
Absolutely, because she may push this man in a direction he doesn't want to go. If you're saying that his actions show that he loves you, let him do it in his time. If he's treating you with nothing but respect, he likes your kids, you like his kids, you all have a wonderful relationship.
But what if she wants to say it? Do you think she'd be making a mistake?
No, if she wants to say it, say it.
But don't expect
it back right now.
And don't be upset if he doesn't say it back.
If he doesn't say it back.
Because you're right. Actions are so much more important than I love you.
Yes. So he's got some things on his plate.
So this reader needs to just be happy. She's in a great relationship.
She needs to tell him, I love you, and see what he says. And if he doesn't say nothing, don't be upset. If things change, then she'll know that if that's what she's looking for, it's time to move on. But the man got some stuff on his plate. He probably wants to have that plate clean before he moves on to something else. Because what she described, we all, I think, would like to have.
Right. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to read one more. Do we have time for one
Yeah,
more letter?
yeah.
Okay. Here's another reader. Now, this is in response to a blog I wrote, and it must have been very positive and optimistic about being divorced and how you can have a better life after. And this person wrote, I love the way this writer thinks they know everything about everybody. A separation is going to be entirely different for everybody depending on the level of abuse they have encountered at the hands of their ex-partner. Truthfully, in my situation, I would never want to date or sleep with someone again. And yes, I do know my own mind. Thank you very much. It's okay for people to retire from looking for love and sex. It's only because we live in a society so addicted to searching for the one that it's hard for this writer to understand that some people eventually grow up and realize that the chase is just dull and predictable.
She's spoken some truth. And if she wants to check out, that is her
Okay,
right.
wait. I
No,
want no.
no,
I
wait a
could
minute,
not
wait a minute.
disagree more.
Wait a minute. No.
Tell me your-
No, I'm telling you, if she's ready to stop dealing with other people, that is her right as a person. Because obviously she's been through a lot of pain. And that's kind of, in her case, it sounds like it's very hard to overcome. Now, she may feel that way now. 10 years from now, she may go, you know what, I think I've healed enough, because she's in pain. I've healed enough now where I think I can manage to have somebody in my life. But it doesn't sound like she's done with herself yet.
Right.
And if she's not done with herself, she's not ready for other people.
Okay, so I sort of agree and I don't. What I was going to tell this reader is that she is in so much pain that she needs to fix she needs to do something to fix herself, because I don't believe that this outlook is a normal way to go through life. She deserves to be happy again. I heard the word abuse in this first paragraph, and that to me says she was hurt either physically, emotionally, or both. And this woman is still in so much pain that she cannot even think about dating. And that is perfectly fine.
Yes.
But I want her to go get some help to help her along the way so that she can be happy again. Now, I'm not saying that you have to have a man and you have to
Right,
date to be
right.
happy. For her to have that outlook is
fine. It's fine because
for now.
No, it's fine for if she wants to keep that forever. We cannot decide what makes other people happy.
But does she sound happy?
She sounds like somebody who's trying to get over some things.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if she can spend time by herself, because that's a hard thing to do, spend time by yourself and be happy. A lot of people can't be by themselves, so that's why they run from one horrible relationship to another.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like this woman knows herself and she's working on self, because right now I don't think she has anything to offer other than saying, you're a bad person to a good person. So she spoke some truth in that to me. So I see nothing wrong.
I don't know. I'm just the type of person, again, the Cinderella tagline, who wants to see everybody happy and in love, especially after divorce when it's so heartbreaking. And I just feel like this woman, I don't think that as time goes by, she's going to feel this way if she gets help and works on herself.
Well, see, everybody happiness and in love is not happiness for everybody.
Right.
It's just not. I mean, so we don't know what kind of person she is. Having some sinus problem. We don't know what kind of abuse she went through. But if she needs a year, 2 years, 10 years just to get herself right, by all means take it.
Mm-hmm.
And because there's beauty in being alone at times.
And it's very healing.
Yes,
It's
yes.
very soothing and
So,
makes you have clarity.
right. Like I hear people, when are you getting married or when are you gonna have kids? See, that's your definition of happiness. Doesn't mean it's
And she's
mine.
right. It's society's
Right.
also.
Doesn't mean it's mine. Does not mean
Oh,
it's
you've been
mine.
dating for 2 years. Are you
Yeah.
guys going to get engaged?
Doesn't mean it's
That's
mine.
such a societal
Right.
expectation.
Well, see, I would never ask anybody that who's been dating for 2 years. I would never, because it's 2 years. 2 years is nothing. I mean, what is that? It's a drop in the bucket in time. But I do believe after you've been with somebody a long, long time, 10, 12, 13 years, you know,
But when you get older, you feel like I don't have that long. I don't want to be a bride at 70.
when is the last time you've been to a wedding and people were over 55?
Funny you should say that. I went to one a week and a half ago, but it was
Okay.
the first one I ever went to.
Okay.
And the couple was in their
All right.
late 50s. I wrote an article
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah. So it's not
My Love
something-
Essentially column
not
published
something you
last
see
week.
a lot.
You don't see it a lot.
And
But it was
so,
beautiful
Yeah,
to
it's not
see.
something. So my heart goes out to this woman, and I hope she can recover from that horrible relationship she had. And at some point, I hope she doesn't. Because a lot of times, what we do is we try to put what other people did to us on other people. And I hope she can find a place in her life, and she can meet somebody, not as so much as a companion, but just a confidant, a friend.
Right,
It sounds like she just needs a friend right now.
right.
Whether
Well, I
that's
was
male or
thinking
female.
therapist, somebody
Well,
to talk to.
I think before a therapist, just a friend. You know what I mean? Somebody she can trust. That's what it sounds like.
And
to me.
maybe she needs spirituality, maybe she needs God, maybe she
Well,
needs yoga, maybe, we don't know. But my point is she needs to figure out what she needs.
Yeah, it
and
sounds
maybe
like-
it's nothing at this very moment.
Right, sounds to me like she's doing it. She says she's not gonna. She says she's doing it for her, for her. So my head goes. I'm saddened for her, but I hope she can. I don't want to say get it together because it sounds like she may have it together for her. I think about this all the time. I mean, what if I just shut it down and just played golf and sung the rest of my life? Would I really miss companionship? And the answer for me is yes. But there are a lot of people. There are a lot more people like her in her situation than we know. There are a lot of people who don't have anybody in their lives.
Well, they're probably not listening to the show.
Well, they may be, but they don't have anybody in their lives.
All right, listen, I think we should come to a close and you should tell me one really positive thing about dating over 40, 50, or 60.
If I had to say something, I would say a lot of people at those ages, not so much maybe 40, but they are tired of the silliness, I would say. Now, not all, but some. And so I think they want you to be honest. And if you're just honest with them, regardless of how it falls on them, I think they can handle it a little better. That's it. I mean, because at the end of the day, the heart is the heart. And I don't care if you're 50, 40, 60, 70, 15. The heart is the heart. And it's going to respond the same way every time there's pain.
Love it.
Yeah, that's it.
Very, very true.
That's it.
Thank you so much for being on the show, Moses.
Thank
I
you.
really enjoyed having you. Great advice.
Thank you.
And I'm going to leave you with my tagline again. If you want a Cinderella story, be your own fairy godmother. You're the only one who can pick out the perfect glass slipper. And I think what I'm trying to tell people is to just be confident in yourself and pick what you really want, So thanks again. This is the Divorced Girl Smiling podcast, and see you next time.